All right, so I wanted to start out with our demo today of our gut loving latte. So with this latte, it's really a kind of a take on a golden milk latte. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with golden milk lattes, but they utilize turmeric, which is what makes it so gold and vibrant and beautiful. So specifically in our Follow Your Gut blend, we have turmeric, as you can see, giving it that beautiful yellow antioxidant glow, as well as astragalus and black pepper, just to increase the immuno boosting effects, as well as the anti-inflammatory effects of this blend. So those that would really, benefit from using our Follow Your Gut blend would definitely be those moving with constipation, irregular bowel movements, bloating, reflux, indigestion, and those types of digestive upset symptoms, especially if you're someone that gets an upset stomach after meals, after dinner, and it tends to, roll over into your nighttime routine. So that's why I really wanted to offer kind of this nighttime gut health, but also relaxing blend for you guys to enjoy right before you go to bed. So in this blend, as I mentioned, it does have turmeric in here. So turmeric is well known, for its bright antioxidant rich color, its anti-inflammatory effects, but it's also been widely researched for its effects on our cardiovascular system. So being protective for our hearts, as well as being protective for our detoxification pathways. So for our liver health, for our skin health, for our bowel movements, all of those are part of our detoxification pathways. And we want to make sure that our elimination of those pathways is optimized and is happening regularly. So utilizing turmeric in every day has really been found to be beneficial to support just optimal health and optimal elimination. Also, specifically, the polyphenols in turmeric and its most active constituent, curcumin, has demonstrated significant anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer properties in research. And that is something that has been highlighted all across the board. So I really absolutely love utilizing this herb as actually a preventative herb, as well as an herb that can be used for those moving with some of the conditions that I previously mentioned. So also in this blend, we're going to have astragalus root. So astragalus root is actually really nourishing to our immune systems. So traditionally, in traditional Chinese medicine, it was used for strengthening and regulating the immune system, and it really invigorated our qi, or our vital energy. So that energy force that we need to, heal from ailments, to strengthen our body, to strengthen our spirit. But also modern research has actually highlighted its use for numerous gut-related conditions as well. So astragalus is known as a vulnerary herb. So vulnerary herbs are our healing herbs. They like to help our tissues heal and providing that nutritive, healing, anti-inflammatory effect, and especially in our digestive tract. And it's also packed with antioxidants and other very protective polyphenols as well. And then lastly, of course, we have black pepper in there. And I don't know, many of you have heard this before, but utilizing black pepper and turmeric together is really the best way to create more bioavailability of the curcuminoids, or the active constituents in turmeric. So we really can get that full therapeutic effect. As well as black pepper in itself being an anti-inflammatory herb that a lot of people forget. Yes, it's a spice, it's a culinary spice, but it's also a therapeutic herb as well. So again, like I mentioned earlier, really bridging our spice cabinet and our medicine cabinet together is kind of how I like to approach herbalism and functional nutrition. So I'm going to just tilt this down here so you guys can see my demo. We're going to get started here making our gut loving milk latte. So as I said before, this is kind of a take on a golden milk latte. First, I'll be putting our herbal blends into our empty mug here. So I'm going to be using 1 teaspoon each. So that's 1 dose each of our herbs here. So remember, a dose is going to be a rounded spoonful when you are using our yellow, when you're using our gold spoons, whether it's our little spoon or our small spoon, you're going to want to do a rounded spoonful. That's half a teaspoon. And one more is going to make that a full teaspoon. And then next, I'm going to put in some ashwagandha. So ashwagandha actually in itself has really been researched to help relax the nervous system as well as provide adaptogenic effects. So an adaptogen really helps our bodies respond and be more resilient to stress. So when we're having those stressful situations, whether it's we're sick or we're dealing with getting over just like even a fight or traffic, all of these things can be considered inflammatory, as well as even working out. So inflammation causes stress in the body. So by taking your adaptogens regularly, you're really nourishing your body so that you're responding to that stress just a little bit better. I'm also going to be adding in some Ceylon cinnamon. I love to add cinnamon into all of my drinks for its insulin protecting effects. So basically what it does is it really helps our bodies respond to so that we don't have as aggressive of a glucose spike from sugars and things like that. So by adding cinnamon, you're kind of helping regulate that blood glucose effect. I will be adding a little bit of maple syrup in here. Feel free to add honey if you prefer that. I'm going to be adding in a teaspoon of maple syrup. You can add 1 to 2 teaspoons. That is totally up to you and how sweet you like it. I don't like it too sweet, but right in the middle. I'll also be adding a pinch of sea salt because we love those added electrolytes, especially before we go to bed for extra hydration. And then just a little bit of vanilla, and this is totally optional, a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, just to add that little special nightcap treat kind of hint to this latte. So then next, I got everything in the bottom of my mug and I have my warmed milk over here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to add a little bit of milk first into my glass. And this is really the trick with these blends, to get them really integrated into your milk of choice more easily. So I'm going to take our frother here. This is our apothecary frother, and it has 2 different settings on it. So I'm going to be going to the high setting here, and I'm just going to be frothing that up. As you can see, it's looking beautiful and golden and antioxidant rich. And I'm just going to give that a minute or 2 because I like my lattes a little bit more frothed. And then here we go. Perfect. And then I'm just going to put my frother to the side. And then I'm very simply just going to top this off with the rest of my milk. And there we go. We have a beautiful golden milk latte. Oh my gosh, so good, so nourishing and delicious. And super, super simple to make. And you can feel free to customize that depending on the herbs that you are working with. So, you know, starting with the follow your gut would definitely be a great one on there. But if you wanted to add another blend on top of it, besides the ashwagandha, feel free to stack on top of that. But always starting low and slow is kind of our motto. I did want to give a few tips to you guys before we jumped into your questions, just about how to use our blends, just as I did there. So as you noticed, I poured in a little bit of milk first, and then I frothed and mixed it. And you can really use this method when you're preparing, whether it's a cold drink or a warm drink. But I would suggest starting with a little bit of warm liquid first, whether it's going to be cold or not, just to get the herbs integrated and more emulsified into your beverage. So if you say wanted to make a chilled stop your whining kind of spritzer, I would suggest putting your stop your whining at the bottom of your glass, just a hit of warm water, use your frother, mix that up, and then top it off with ice and your spritzer of choice. So that's just a little tip there. Another tip is to use some type of fat when you are blending your drinks or lattes together. So a lot of the times people like to just pour everything right into water, which is totally fine too. But I would suggest, you know, even adding a few drops of MCT oil or ghee or coconut milk or any other milk of your choice that you like, or fat of your choice. And using that to actually emulsify the herbs a little bit more, just a little bit more thoroughly into your liquid of choice. It really helps them suspend better and just separate less when you have that fat in there. So those are just a couple little tips that I have for you. Oh, and my last tip as well would be to, store your herbs in the kitchen. I love to use this Follow Your Gut blends on my roasted vegetables. I pour it into my curries. I sprinkle it right into my eggs almost every morning because I just love to get my turmeric and astragalus in. So I just find it very handy if I just store them right in my kitchen cabinet, and then I can use them every single day. Great. So I'd love to open up to some of your questions that you guys have. So let's see. Feel free to pop them in the chat box too as I'm answering them, and I will get to them at some point. And if I don't get to them today, feel free to email us at hi@apothecary.co if I don't get to your question. So let's see. So do you do testing to find out what nutrients we may need to support with? Previously, Dr. Jessica mentioned there was a hair analysis. Oh, so they're asking about our consultation program. So yes, in our consultation program, for the 45-minute dietary and herbal consult, I will go over your 3-day food diary plan. There is no hair testing or blood analysis that's needed. But any additional information that you can provide for me would definitely be beneficial for us to come up with a unique care plan that would be best for you as far as lifestyle, dietary, and herbals as well. So can you add this golden milk latte, do not disturb before bedtime? Yes, of course. So just as I was saying, you can definitely add other herbs in here and other blends as you feel necessary. So if you're taking do not disturb, you can definitely add that in here, and it would give it a beautiful floral, rosy, just really adaptogenic and relaxing flavor profile. So I think that would be a great addition to add do not disturb. All right. What is a good product or drink for menopause to use instead of some other things we have going on here? Yes. So for our menopause support, hormonal support blends, we really like to look at maca. So maca is an adaptogenic root from kind of the Peruvian, Amazonian areas of South America. It's actually used as a nutritive food for years and is still used now for thousands of years. But it does have quite a bit of adaptogenic and hormone balancing properties that have been widely researched. So I would definitely look into that one. Maca is a little bit stimulating. So remember, we do not want to be taking our stimulating herbs, past 12 o'clock, 2 p.m., just so we don't mess with our sleep-wake cycles. So things like Mind Over Matter, Blew Me Away, Slay All Day, those things we're going to want to take in the beginning of the day, whereas Chill the F Out, Do Not Disturb, those types of things we're going to want to take towards the end of the day, and Take the Edge Off and Stop Your Whining. Those things will definitely be towards the end of our day. The more nutritive herbs can be taken throughout the day, like Follow Your Gut, that could be taken throughout the day. So to go back to this question, as well as other hormonal blends, Seal the Deal would be another great blend to explore. That one has the maca root in it, as I just mentioned, as well as some other great libido boosting and mood enhancing and just energizing and nutritive herbs. So Seal the Deal would be a great one. And another single herb for hormonal balancing would be Shatavari. So we have that in our store as well as a single herb offering. And that herb specifically is known as the queen of herbs and really great for for menopause, perimenopause, for postpartum, especially postpartum hair loss. So Shatavari will be a great one too for hormone balancing herbs. But specific medical questions to your health journey will definitely have to be answered in a dietary consult. So let's see. So how long do you have to take the various herbs before you see some positive effects? So we like to say that you should take your herbs for about 3 weeks consistently to see the full therapeutic potential. And that will go for more of our adaptogenic blends, more of the nutritive blends, things that take quite a while to really deeply nourish our bodies. When we are talking about blends like Slay All Day, Blew Me Away, Mind Over Matter, Seal the Deal, things that have more, stimulating effects, you'll definitely feel that more energizing, stimulating, cognitive focus, pretty much, within normal digestive time, 15 to 45 minutes, depending on your specific metabolism. But that definitely, you will feel the full therapeutic effect of the adaptogenic herbs and the more nutritive herbs over 3 weeks is what we like to say is our sweet spot. But taking them consistently is definitely key. So trying to, integrate them into other recipes is really a great way to make sure that you're getting your herbs in if you don't want to, drink a smoothie every day or drink a latte every day. And we also have a great blog with lots of recipes, as well as our Instagram page and our YouTube channel will have plenty of recipes and resources for you guys to check out. So make sure that you are subscribed to those pages, as well as our Facebook group, and coming to our Dosing 201 classes, and you'll learn some more recipes as well. So is there a maximum amount of these herbs that I could take? So we like to tell everybody, again, I just want to reiterate, start low and slow. We want to start with 1 teaspoon at a time. That is the dosing that is on all of our bottles. If you are moving with an acute illness or a chronic illness and you want to speak more to your specific health journey, there's definitely a way to utilize the herbs, in higher doses that may be more therapeutic for you. But I would definitely want to speak with you one-on-one first to identify what those herbs are, to identify how much of those herbs you should be taking, when you should be taking them, and those types of things. So first off, I would definitely just start low and slow, and just listening to your body as well, because our bodies really know if you're feeling like, you're taking too many things, you're stacking your athletic greens with these supplements, with this and this and this, listen to your body. Your body knows what it needs. But I will say that, taking herbs is really a whole plant, whole food approach to getting some of that nutrition. So it's really kind of my philosophy to really go with whole foods, whole plants first before we start to supplement. So great. Are there any negative interactions with probiotics and the Follow Your Gut drinks? So no, there are no interactions at all actually with probiotics. And actually astragalus, which is in the Follow Your Gut blend, is called a prebiotic. So a prebiotic herb actually feeds the good microbiome gut flora and actually helps us have better bowel movements, more regular digestion, less bloating, less constipation, and actually helps the good microbiome and the good bugs thrive. So just like probiotics, they actually, this blend actually offers a boosting effect to your gut health in that way. So how many drinks or portions per day are recommended? So really it's going to be, specific to your health journey and what you need. I really would be, more looking at when you're taking your blends. So again, we don't want to be taking stimulating blends at night, and we don't want to be taking our sleepy blends in the morning. So really just, looking to see how you are utilizing your blends in your everyday routine. But I would start with, 1 drink a day and see how you feel, and then move from there. You can always add on more. Awesome. So let's answer a couple more here, and then I will tell you guys about our tincture. So what is the difference between herb blends versus tincture droplets? This is great. So perfect transition into talking about our tincture. So the main difference between herb blends versus tinctures is that in an herb blend, in our powder blends, you're actually getting the physical plant. You are getting the root, you are getting the leaf, you are getting the petal of that rose. So think about it like cinnamon. Cinnamon, you are eating the bark of a tree, essentially. So again, it just is going to have a different therapeutic value than a tincture, but that's not to say that a tincture is not also therapeutically just as good. And they just have a little bit different mechanism. So when you're taking a whole food form like a herb, it's going to take a little bit longer for the digestive system, to break it down. So maybe to feel those effects. Whereas if you're going to take a tincture, you may feel that right away because it's already in liquid form. So it's going to kind of pass through that barrier a little bit quicker in our digestive tract. Also, the biggest difference is in a tincture, of course, it's going to be the extracted polyphenols. So it's not actually going to be the physical eating of that rose petal, but it's going to be the extracted polyphenols or active constituents of that plant, the medicinal properties of that plant, into our liquid of choice, which for ours, we like to keep all of our tinctures alcohol free. So they're going to be sweet and delicious, and we do it into vegetable glycerin. So it's going to give you that sweet, aromatic, full body flavor of the herbs without that burn of the alcohol. But as I said, both have their benefits, both have their uses. My favorite use of tinctures and favorite benefit of having a tincture is that it's just so easy to bring around with me. I love to carry our take the edge off tincture just, you know, when I'm out and about, when I'm in restaurants. I make my own little mocktails while I'm sitting there. You can also just take it if you're someone who's an anxious person in crowds, or you just move with anxiety in general, heart palpitations, those types of things. It's a great tincture to have on hand for any of that nervous type energy. So that's really the convenience factor of having a tincture versus a powder blend where, you know, you just might have to put a little bit more thinking on how you prepare it, how you integrate it into a recipe. So they both have beautiful benefits. And it's really just how you want to utilize them in your lifestyle and everyday routines. So talking about Take the Edge Off tincture, I just wanted to mention that if you haven't seen it yet, this is our tincture that is chock full of nervines, which are herbs that really nourish our nervous system. And it's really going to be there for supporting our physical and mental tension. So, you know, when you get tense body muscles, if you're restless at night, you have restless legs, you're anxious, your heart races, you just get nervousness, circular thoughts, all of these types of things. Those are what nervines are going to benefit. And that is what they're going to nourish is our nervous system so that we don't have these reactions as frequently or as severely. So in this blend, we do have some, you know, heavy hitting nervines, and I love them. We have passion flower, skullcap, linden, as well as oat straw. And I just wanted to highlight, you know, oat straw is really a transformative herb. I think it is just chock full of nutrition. So when we're talking about whole food nutrition, this is one of those herbs I highly suggest for people looking to replenish their mineral status. Specifically, you know, iron, manganese, zinc, all these things are incredibly high in oat straw. And a lot of us tend to run very low in electrolytes, and especially these types of minerals as well. So that's definitely an herb in there that I love. And it's a tropho-restorative herb, meaning, again, it loves our nervous system. It's giving our nervous system that nourishment it needs to respond to stress and tension as we move through our days. And as I mentioned before, you can dose it right into your mouth. You can make a mocktail. You can add it to a spritzer. You can dose it with your Stop Your Whining together and make a rosé kind of blended drink. A lot of people have been really enjoying that. And really, you could just take 1 to 2 dropperfuls a day, and you can keep going from there if you feel that is nourishing to you as needed. I also like to mention people find it very helpful to keep this blend by their nightside table. So if you're someone that frequently wakes up in the middle of the night, you have insomnia, you know, you fall asleep but you can't stay asleep, this could be a good blend for you to just kind of shut down those circular thoughts, help you get back to sleep, and help you really tap into that restorative sleeping process that we all really need. So awesome. I loved all of your questions today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I want to give you guys our dosing code just for joining us today. So make sure you grab a pencil really quick. I'll give you a minute. So today's code is going to be savings 15, all capital letters. Savings 15. Thank you, Michaela. She popped that right in the chat over there if you guys want to check that out. And again, if I didn't get to your question today, I'm so sorry, but please email us at hi@apothecary.co, and we'll definitely get to your question as soon as possible. I really love talking to you guys today. Thank you so much for attending. I really appreciate all of your questions. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel and to be subscribed to our email and as well as our Instagram page for more recipes and tips on how to use your blends. Thank you guys so much. And I hope to see you guys in our next dosing classes.